WTOL 11 News is 6. I'm Michael Sandlin. Thank you so much for joining us on your Saturday afternoon. We're starting right away with breaking news just into the newsroom. About 84 members of the IAM Union Local 1297 at Libby Glass in Toledo have voted to go on strike starting Friday, August 22nd at 11:59 p.m. Union members say the company's contract offer includes unfair pay, forced overtime, and rising health insurance costs. They also say workers made major sacrifices to help Libby Glass avoid bankruptcy back in 2019. The IAM union says it fully supports its members and will fight for a fair contract. That union represents around 600,000 workers across various industries in the U.S. and Canada. Toledo Pride is just a week away, and Equality Toledo has been gearing up for the weekend with different events focused on visibility and connection. Our Laura Sandlin joins us in studio with more. Laura, what are some of these events and why do they matter?
Well, Michael, from barbecues to trivia and glasswork, Equality Toledo has been focused on bringing people together, with part of their proceeds going toward their education and outreach. One of those events actually happened this afternoon. Equality Toledo partnered with Copper Moon Glass Studios to help create one-of-a-kind pieces to help raise money. For $50, you get a half circle of glass that you can decorate as you like. Some people made rainbows, limes, citrus, and more. People let their creativity run wild. They're then thrown into a kiln to help finish those special pieces. The event today was one of the first of multiple Pride Month events in August, and according to the executive director for Equality Toledo, it's important to further normalize the LGBTQ+ experience.
We're just like everyone else, and unfortunately our community, especially our trans community, is aggressively under attack by politicians that are just using us as a way to divide people. At the end of the day, we're all normal.
And if you missed this event, no problem. Equality Toledo has a lot more events to offer, and you can also find them at Toledo Pride this upcoming weekend. For a full list of events and dates, check out our website. Reporting in studio, Laura Sandlin for WTOL 11.
And turning to that forecast, the heat and humidity here to stay for the rest of the weekend with temperatures in the lower 90s and a mix of sunshine and fair weather clouds. Temperatures still hanging on to 90 degrees in Lucas and Wood counties, and dry weather on radar and satellite. There is a very weak cold front to the northwest of us that is going to spark our next storm chance. That'll be here Tuesday and into Wednesday. Worry-free and dry weather ahead for your Sunday. Fair weather clouds decorating the sky with those temperatures topping out in the lower 90s. Going to be a hot day. Wrapping up the Flag City Balloon Fest in Findlay and looking towards that Henry County Fair forecast. 85 degrees at lunchtime and 90 likely through the afternoon and the evening time frame. Temperature wise, we'll be in the upper 60s in the morning with those afternoon highs near or above the 90-degree mark. And the next 4 days do feature dry weather Sunday and Monday. However, that weak cold front I pointed out could spark a couple isolated pop-ups both Tuesday and into Wednesday as well. The hour-by-hour forecast, Monday is going to be a likely dry day. There could be a couple isolated pop-up showers, but it is only a 20% chance. And then looking towards that cold front on Tuesday, there is going to be the chance for a couple scattered showers and thunderstorms, mainly during the afternoon time frame, although I do think much of the day is expected to be dry. Now, if you're hoping for some relief from the heat, the long-range trend is still indicating warmer conditions. That cold front briefly drops us back to the mid-80s, but then it's right back up near 90 by next weekend.
I know.
Sports brought to you by Jim White Honda. Welcome back. The NFL preseason doesn't count for anything, but the injuries are still very real. We got reminded of that Friday night when the Lions took on the Falcons. Lions cornerback Maurice Norris was injured in the fourth quarter of the game. He ran into a Falcons running back face first and his head snapped back on the tackle. Staff were working on Norris on the field for about 20 minutes before he was taken into an ambulance to an Atlanta hospital. Both head coaches agreed not to resume the game and ran out the clock. Today, Norris shared a post on Instagram where he said he's okay and thanked people for their support. Finally, the Mud Hens are back in action tonight, still in their series versus the Louisville Bats. We'll have that game covered coming up tonight at 11. But until then, that's all for sports.
All right, Chase, thanks. A quick golf trip to Michigan turned into an $150,000 win for one Ohio man. 68-year-old Donovan Reynolds stopped at Big Daddy's truck stop in Ottawa Lake and grabbed a Powerball ticket recently. Reynolds says he's played the same numbers for years and he's now putting the winnings toward his daughter's college fund. Congrats to the whole Reynolds family. Well, hey, thanks so much for joining us. Obviously, it's been a little abbreviated show, but we're going to have the full show coming up tonight at 11. John's going to be there with a full look at the weather. Of course, we got more in sports. But in the meantime, I hope you get to see a little bit more of us in just a few hours. Take care.